Feathers of Hope, a movement born from the voices of Ontario's First Nations youth and children, dedicated to raising and amplifying these voices, your voices. It started by mobilizing over 100 First Nations youth, young people like you and me, when we gathered for the first ever Feathers of Hope Forum in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Together, we proudly represented over 62 First Nations communities in Northern Ontario. It was a powerful event, one where we listened, learned, spoke up, and stood up. We stood up because we have a passion to speak, a platform from which to rise, and a powerful message to deliver. This is where we amplified our voice. We spoke up loud and clear about our needs, and we forged a path that gave and created an action plan for First Nations young people to move forward. This is where Feathers of Hope was born. Since then, we have been hard at work addressing the action plan as we continue to raise our voices. Feathers of Hope has raised our voices throughout Thunder Bay in local organizations, schools, programs, PTOs, and even City Council. But we didn't stop there. We then raised our voices in communities across the far north, including Rainy River, Pikangikum, Kashechewan, Ganoogaming, and many places in between. We continue to speak out across Ontario, in Ottawa, Toronto, Sudbury, and Sioux Lookout. Our voices then rang out across Canada, in St. John's, Newfoundland, Montreal, Quebec, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Calgary, Alberta, Vancouver, British Columbia, and Whitehorse in the Yukon Territories. Even further, our collective voice has been heard across the world in the United States and as far as Australia. Feathers of Hope is gaining momentum. Our movement is growing. To ensure the fulfillment of its legacy, we need you to continue to raise the voices of Feathers of Hope. This will strengthen our unity so that we may continue to push for positive change for current and future generations. Are you ready to add your voice? Take the next step.